Hi everyone, welcome back to Grow with Kit. So it's the 1st of September now. I haven't been around for 26 days. That was when my last video was on. So I'm sorry about that, but it's just been really busy. We've been on holiday and the veg garden's been a little bit neglected. But I've just been in here, cut all the grass back and get everything to good water. Most things are looking good. We've got plenty of tomatoes ready. Some sweet corn ready, potatoes ready in there. I won't be putting that up today, but just because I haven't been around for quite a while, I thought I'd give you all a real quick update. So I'll just take you around and show you what's going on the 1st of September. So if you want to join me, we'll have a quick vegetable garden tour. Okay, everyone. So time for a quick tour around the vegetable garden. As you can see, everything's been growing like mad since the last video. Obviously that was almost a month ago now, so a lot changes in a month. So we'll start on this end, we'll work our way down here, and then I'll show you bits and bobs in the pots and that. So we'll get cracking. So these two here are cucumbers. We've had loads of cucumbers off of these. They're coming to an end now, but there's still a few more on there. These are ready to come off. They don't. It's not a big variety. So these come off about this size, and they're quite nice. The kids tend to just munch them. So we've got a few more of them on there. There's another one there. Another couple up there. A few more starting to develop. Whether or not they'll have time or not, I don't know. But so we've got a couple of tomato plants here. This one's variety is Tigerella. So these are the stripy ones. So they're not bad. I've had a few off here. But they've not done great this year, to be honest. This one here is Ildi, is the variety. And you get these huge bunches of just literally hundreds on each bunch. I mean, look at that. Don't know how many's on there. But I've had a few off here. Not too many, they haven't ripened yet. But, the ones I've had are quite nice. So there was a few more yellow ones, which I tend to just pick them off and eat them as they go along. They don't really make it into the house. So anyway, there's 4 containers of potatoes in there. 1 seed potato per pot is what I put in there. And I harvested 1 pot a little while ago, and they weren't quite ready. But the foliage is all died off now, so these will be ready. You can see some of the potatoes underneath the soil there. So they start to go green if they're exposed to the light, and then you can't eat them. So try and cover them up if you see any on the surface. We've got another tomato plant there. Not sure which one this was, but I'm not sure whether these will have time to ripen or not, but hopefully they will. It looks like a little cherry tomato type. And sunflower there. So I got them started really late, and I didn't get them in the ground in time, so they're all really small. But never mind. So along here is sweet corn. We've got 5 plants in there. They've done quite well actually. I wish I'd planted some more. We've got a few cobs. These are about ready, I think. You can tell they're ready because the tassels go black. If you can still see white tassels, there was a few. This one here still got some white tassels, so it's not quite ready. But these two on this one, definitely ready. So we'll be harvesting them soon. I'll do another video in a day or two, and I'll go around and harvest everything that's ready. But we've got a fair few cobs on here. Each plant seems to have about 2, and they're not huge, but they should be good, hopefully. And in the brassica cage here, the caterpillars did still get in there because the cats broke the back of the net, and I never got around to fixing it, so I've kind of just left everything in there at the moment. We've still got Brussels sprouts in there, they should be alright, and a few cabbages which might be okay. And the cauliflowers, there was 2 left which have gone past it now, so there'll be chicken food. And down here I put in a load of carrots, and surprisingly they've actually done quite well by the looks of it, because I haven't really done anything. But some nice carrots in there. So we can pull one up just to show you. Yeah, pulled up a little one, but I'm sure there'll be some bigger ones in there. So we'll be harvesting them soon as well. More sunflowers I've just randomly, because I forgot to plant them, I ended up just randomly sticking them in all over the place. So, but they're not very big, but I mean this one's about 5 foot, and it's just starting to get a flower head on it. Another one there. Load more over there, but they didn't do too great, to be honest. Onions in here are now swamped in weeds, but there is some not too bad. I mean, they're not huge, but the ones I did in clumps seem to be alright. I mean, obviously not going to win any giant onion competitions, but they'll still be perfectly fine. And there's a fair few more buried under all these weeds and potato plants that fell over. So we're pulling them up as well soon. Whoops. And the 2 rows of potatoes that are left are looking about ready now. And the foliage starting to die off and fall over generally means they're about ready. And this is just clear space now from where the other potatoes were in. And I had some pumpkins and squashes. Again, they were a bit of a late start, so they haven't done amazingly, but I can see a massive squash in there and a pumpkin there. Or was that squash? I know they're both squashes. The pumpkins is the type of squash, but there was butternut and summer squash in there. We've got one there, I think it's a squash. My leeks never got planted, so they're still in the little pots there. And there was more tomatoes which I just randomly chucked in. And I planted loads of seeds for these, but that's the only one that come up. And there's another little pumpkin there. It's looking like it's ready, but not very big. Never mind. And some other little tomato plants, which I just put in. See if there's any more pumpkins or anything. There's a few little squashes starting in there. I think these must be the butternut ones. Let's see. If we get some nice weather, they might start growing. Ooh, there's a nice big pumpkin. Yeah, we got one decent pumpkin. And more tomato plants. This one's actually got a tomato on it, even though it's tiny. And another squash here. Just little ones on there at the moment. You never know, they might get time to grow. And there's another little pumpkin over there. More squash. And the sunflowers along here. So I'm not going to be winning any competitions, but if they have time to flower, they'll still be nice. So that's that side. That's everything that I've got in the ground. So the rest of all this is all in containers. And these are all trees. So I won't bother showing you every single tree. But these are all my trees which I'm developing for bonsai or ornamental garden trees. There's all sorts of different types in there. Japanese aces, pine, birches, lots of different types. Storm's come to visit us. So along here, these first two are fig plants. These were grew from cuttings about 2 years ago now, 3 years ago. So they've done quite well this year, because they like being confined into small pots. No figs though, but never mind, maybe next year. And the new fruit trees here, there was a peach, a nectarine, and a plum. They all did lots of growing. All these are new branches this year, about a metre of growth. So these were bare rooted when I got them. They've done lots of growing, but obviously we didn't get any fruit on them, so hopefully next year we might. That's the plum there. This is my irrigation for my greenhouse, which I've set up, so everything in there is automatically watered. And you can see we've got lots of tomatoes in there already, but I'll take you in there in a minute and show you. This one here is a cherry tree. In the big pot is a cherry. Again, it's a new addition this year, so no fruit, but hopefully next year we will. And in the bottom of here is just all sorts of different trees and stuff which I've been taking from cuttings. These are all willow. These are well and truly rooted. The pot's actually stuck where the roots have gone through the bottom. These were silk trees, seed grown from this year, so they should be quite cool. These are all red birch, again seed grown. They need repotting, separating out, so we'll do that at some point. And just a couple more trees. There's a little beech seedling there which I pulled up when we were out for a walk, and another Japanese maple which was grew from seed. Oh, and I've got a couple of cuttings off of my empress tree which I will show you. I think these have actually taken because they've been in here well over a month and they haven't died, so they must have rooted by now. Can't see any roots coming out the bottom yet, but I think they might have roots. So they were cuttings off of this one here, which is the empress tree, which is starting to lose its leaves already. But it's been a bit of a funny year this year, so I see it's dropping its leaves very early, but never mind. And That's a grapevine, seed grown, with some more of these. I forgot what they're called, but I planted these because the slugs love them. So they eat these first rather than anything else. That was the idea. That was a goji berry, which is not looking too great at all. But it may need a bigger pot. It's just been in that little one for now. And that was a blueberry bush, which I got this year. It was only a tiny thing. And it's done. That whole thing there is this year's growth, so it's done a lot of growing this year, so it's okay. This is Japanese wineberry. So that was another new addition this year. It's growing well. And we've got a few little bunches of fruit on it. I wasn't expecting much, obviously, because it was a new one this year. So it would be nice if we, even if we just get a few, just to see what they're like. And marigolds, that's what they're called. So I've planted these and I've chucked seeds all over the place in all the plant pots. A few have come up, but the slugs love them, so they get destroyed by the slugs, and it apparently stops them from eating everything else. Seems to have kind of worked. This was another seed sown grapevine. I've already pruned this back because it was getting really tall, so chopped it off. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to keep it small because it's in a little pot until I can get it in the ground somewhere. Anyway, so last thing to show you is in the greenhouse. And you can already see there's some big old cucumbers in there, just growing all over the place. And the snail hiding in there. So I'll take you in there in a minute. So before we go into the greenhouse, just show you these are all strawberries. We've had loads and loads of strawberries, and there's still a few more on there. I've been removing all the suckers, the shoots, the runners that come off. I've been removing all them this year because I don't want any more strawberries at the moment. And they did finish, but they get a bit confused sometimes, and you end up with a second little crop. But won't be anything amazing. And the raspberries there. I've removed all of the old canes and left my 4 new ones, which will fruit next year. So these done really well this year. These are much bigger than what they were last year. But I have kept on top of fertilising them a bit more this year, making sure they're watered. And the currant, gooseberry, and another currant there. They did okay. Fair few currants on them. Only a couple of gooseberries, but they're all gone now. The birds got most of them as usual. Because until I can get a fruit cage, it's just whoever comes first gets it. So the birds normally beat me to it, but sometimes I get a few. But this gooseberry's done really well this year. Last couple of years it's got decimated by sawfly, but this year it's managed to get a lot of growth in, so be pruning out all the middle and that soon, as soon as it goes dormant. And the currants have done okay, starting to die off now. See, all the leaves have fallen off, all leaves have come off since I cut the grass, so that's on its way out as well. The kiwi's done really well. We haven't had any kiwis, but certainly grown a lot. It's gone across there. We've got one that's come up here, and then this one's gone across here onto the grapevine. It's wrapped itself up here and it's gone all the way up to there. So I'm just going to leave that there, I think, for now. Not doing any harm. And hopefully next year we should get some kiwis. See more marigolds randomly popping up. And in here, a few more little marigolds. For some reason they've not really grown. And there was a strawberry sucker, which I randomly stuck in there, which apparently has done really well in here. We had a few strawberries on that one actually. So that'll have to come out at some point because it's going to be competing against the grapevine. And the grapevine has done well. Got some little grapes here. That's the only bunch on it this year, but it's the first year it's had any, so we'll prune it back, and then next year we should get a few more. Okay, so we'll head over to the greenhouse now, and I'll show you what's in there. Okay, so we're going to head into the greenhouse. As you can see, these two tomato plants here have completely claimed that area of the greenhouse. And there's loads of tomatoes in there, I can't even get to half of them. But something's been munching them here. Slugs probably. And it looks like we might have a beginnings of a bit of blight or something. Probably not. But I'll be harvesting them soon anyway. And there's not much point in letting anything else grow. So any flowers and new shoots will be coming off soon. Just try and get in here. Oh. So inside here is hundreds of red tomatoes, which I really need to get at because there's some quite nice ones in there. It's just getting to them. I didn't leave enough space in between them, so it's just a mass of leaves at the moment. So I'm going to have to defoliate this and take off a majority of the undeveloped tomatoes just to let the bigger ones develop. Anyway, I'll do that at a later date. So we've got some peppers in here ready as well. Little red ones. Oh, that one's gone rotten. That's because I didn't harvest it in time. It's gone past it. There is another. There's another pepper plant under there somewhere. It's probably not doing much because it's swamped. I can actually see a fair few peppers on there though. I'm gonna have to clear this out because this pepper plant's got loads on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's loads of peppers on there. So we'll have to clear this out. We'll have to make a day of it because I haven't got much time today to really do anything. Some more peppers on there. The red ones which really need to come off. More on that one. There's another Tigerella tomato plant there. It's got a few on it, almost ripe, and lots of little ones, which I'll say they're not going to have time, but you never know. If we have late bit of heat, then they might ripen. In here, this pot here, this is 2 watermelon plants. So we've got some little tiny ones down here, and we actually have one here, which is actually growing. Last couple of years I've tried watermelons. I try them almost every year. The first year I tried them, I had a good few decent watermelons. Since then I haven't been able to get them growing. but this one seems to be doing alright, so might have to support that soon, get something underneath it to hold it up before it pulls the whole plant down. But don't know how big it'll get. It's a small variety anyway, Sugar Baby. They're only supposed to get to sort of small football sort of size, nothing massive. Under there is another tomato plant, which goes up to here, and I've chopped the top off, and it's only got a few tomatoes. There's a few bunches in there, but I need to clear all this out because they're not going to ripen because they're too wild. I never seem to be able to keep on top of it. Look at the size of that cucumber. You just spotted that one. Oh my god. I'll have to take that off. That's gone way past it. That's probably no good now, but if nothing else, we might be able to save seeds from it. So, size that. And there is more cucumbers I saw from the other side. Let's just get into them. Small red tomatoes down there as well. Another tigerella plant, I think. Looking at the stripes on it. Yeah. So, try and get that one off. Not a bad tomato. So, there's more red tomatoes under here as well. Oh, these are Roma. These are lovely ones. These are. There's a Roma VF, and there is more red ones down there. Oh, I can't see them cucumbers. No, there's that one. See, that one's gone past it as well. They start going light green and yellowing off, and they're most likely going to be bitter. You need to get them smaller the better, really. And if they're fully green, oh my god, let me get that one off. I'll find where it's coming from. We'll pull that one off as well. It's already come off. And that's attached from the end. Wow. I didn't intend to harvest anything, but there's another big cucumber around the back there as well. I'll come back and I'll do a separate video on harvesting and sorting all this massive jungle out. I'll do that in a couple of days. So I've got work tomorrow and Friday, and then I'm off for the weekend. So be able to get in here and sort everything out. But anyway, I think that's about it for today, guys. So I've updated you on everything. So all the trees in here and various cuttings, and these are gunner cuttings, which all seem to have taken. You know, the ones with the huge leaves which grow almost as big as a person. Gunner. Bay cuttings seem to have taken. Various different acers, birches, cuttings of all sorts. Anyway, I'll show you them. I will do a separate tree video. As I said before, I keep the trees and the veg separate. So anyone who's interested in growing their own trees, keep an eye out for my tree videos. Anyway, Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the little tour. I know it's nothing too exciting, but anyway, so I will see you on the next episode, guys. Okay, everyone. So thank you so much for watching. If you could subscribe, that would be great, and comment and leave a thumbs up. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. So it'll be a harvest video next. Quiet chicken. The next one will be a harvest video, and generally clearing things up. The wasp flying around my head. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great week.